Let's take a look at what AppShots are in the ChatGPT app. So I'm within Codex here, and typically if I want to add additional context, maybe from a website, a chart, or an image, I need to take a screenshot and then paste that in. So I would just drop it into the chat, and then I would type, hey, can you kind of give me an overview of what's in this or replicate it? With AppShots, you can actually just capture the foremost screen that you're looking at with a shortcut command, and that capture will go into the chat with an image representation and then also textual content for context. So let's take a look. And we're going to step through actually setting this up initially. So I'm going to hit Command and Command on macOS. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get prompted to set it up. So I'm going to go ahead and enable AppShots here. So first is accessibility. I'm going to drag that up. And then the second is for screenshots. And I'm going to drag that up. Awesome. And you'll see that an AppShot actually went in to the chat here. I'm going to close this out for a second and just get an idea of what we're looking at. So if I jump over to this page, maybe I'm perusing the AppShot documentation and I want to capture this. Instead of taking a screenshot, I can just use that shortcut command again. And you'll see that it gets thrown right into the chat window. So I'm going to click on this and you'll see that I've kind of had that screenshot. But that's kind of where the similarities with the screenshot end. If I click up here and view text, you'll see that there's actual full textual representation, almost like a DOM representation or accessibility tree of the content that I'm looking at. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here and gives me the focused UI element. So let's try something different though. Maybe there's a specific part of this website that I'm looking at, or just like kind of subconsciously, I'm selecting things without knowing. So let me just select this block of text. I'm going to do another app shot here, click into it. And now let me view this text. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom again. You can see that the selected text is actually captured here. So that's called out. And then the prompt is adjusted to pay attention to that content that I selected as something that is, something for special attention there. So that's pretty cool. Now, what if we want to do another, website? I'm looking at AppShots, and then I'm also looking at, an API documentation here or reference. I can do the same thing. So I'm just going to add this in. And now let me click on this, see what the text is. Gives me all of the information here. And also, in this case, gives me some curl commands that I could use or couldn't be used as context into this existing chat. So that's just a little overview of AppShots. When you come into Codex for the first time, if you hit Command and Command, the keys, you can set these also. So actually, let's take a look at that. I'm going to go to Settings here and then search AppShots. And you can see that I can change the hotkey here if you want, and then also where the destination is. So I can just throw it into the current chat if I want, or I can start it into a new chat. Right now I have it as automatic. And really the only thing you need to do is configure that initial setup for accessibility and screen capture, and then you can start using AppShots. I started, defaulting to these instead of using just screenshots, especially when you have a lot of windows, or if you just want to capture UI elements or something for Codex to then replicate, you could do that as well. So it's been a big productivity boost for myself. Great. Let us know if you have any questions, and the documentation should be linked below.